All right, let's get into it. Did you know a high school affair could explode into national headlines for murder? Because, yeah, that actually happened. And the fallout was messy as hell. Hey, it's Emma. I'm feeling super intrigued today. The vibes are very true crime meets pop culture autopsy. And you know I live for that blend. So picture this: New Hampshire, early 90s. Pamela Smart is 22, working as a media coordinator at Winnacunnet High School in Hampton. Her husband, Greg Smart, ends up murdered in their condo in Derry. Police first say it looks like a burglary gone wrong, but then it unravels. The shooter is her 15-year-old boyfriend, William "Billy" Flynn, with his friends in on it. The trial becomes one of the first in the US to let TV cameras in the courtroom. Ratings bait meets legal reality. It was a whole national spectacle. Quick story time, bestie. Years ago, I'm at this little revival house in Los Feliz with friends. We're watching To Die For, the 90s movie directed by Gus Van Sant, with Nicole Kidman in full icy ambition mode. I'm thinking, cute satire, media clownery. Love that for us. Then my friend leans over this is based on a real case, Pamela Smart. I swear, I stopped chewing my red vines. My jaw dropped. And the kicker? That real trial was literally televised, one of the first to do it, which totally juiced the circus. Okay, let's move on. Basic lay of the land. No law degree needed. Pamela Smart meets Billy Flynn through Project Self-Esteem. That's a school volunteer program. She's staff, he's a student. Massive power imbalance. It's a no-go on every level. They start an affair. He's 15, she's in her early 20s. Months later, in 1990, Greg Smart is killed in the couple's condo, and police quickly realize the burglary look is staged. The crew involved: Billy Flynn, the shooter; Patrick Pete Randall, right there during it; Vance Latime Jr., the driver; Raymond Fowler, waiting in the car. That's the lineup. ELI 5 definitions so we are aligned. Accomplice to first-degree murder means you intentionally help or encourage someone to commit a planned killing. Conspiracy to murder means you and at least one other person agree to do it, and somebody takes a step toward it. Witness tampering is trying to influence a witness, like telling them to keep quiet or change their story. And wearing a wire is secretly recording a conversation for the cops. That last one is key here. Timeline: quick and clean. Pam and Greg meet in the late 80s, marry in 89, and things get rocky, fast. In early 1990, she's working at the high school and connects with Billy through that program, and with Cecilia Pierce, a student intern who's also Billy's friend. In May 1990, Greg is found dead. Within weeks, police get an anonymous tip pointing to Cecilia. The cops ask Cecilia to wear a wire, and she records conversations with Pam. By August, Detective Daniel Pelletier arrests Pam right in her school parking lot and drops that infamous line: "Good news, we solved your husband's murder. Bad news, you're under arrest." Who says that on tape? Apparently, he did. The trial lands in 1991, and cameras are allowed in the courtroom, which, hello, media frenzy. Assistant Attorney General Diane Nicolosi paints Pam as the mastermind. Prosecutors say motive equals avoiding a messy divorce and cashing in on a life insurance policy around $140,000. The teens take plea deals and testify against her, and those wire recordings from Cecilia, the intern, are played for the jury. Pam admits the affair, but denies planning the murder, saying the teens did it after she tried to end things and reconcile with Greg. The jury is not buying it. Guilty of accomplice to first-degree murder, conspiracy, and witness tampering. Because of how New Hampshire law works on accomplice liability, she automatically gets life without parole. Let's talk people, because character energy matters. Pamela grew up in Miami, moved to Derry in middle school, did cheer at Pinkerton Academy, then studied communications at Florida State. She even hosted a college metal show as the Maiden of Metal. Very 80s radio kid meets glossy makeover. She returns to New Hampshire to work at the high school. Billy Flynn is a sophomore, 15. He later testifies he was a virgin before Pam. Prosecutors frame him as manipulated by an adult in authority. Do I have empathy for a kid in that bind? Yes, power dynamics are real. But also, he shot a man. Two things can be true. There are victims and also responsibility. Cecilia Pierce, the student intern, is pivotal. Without her recordings, this case looks different. That's just facts. Those recordings did not vibe with Pam's public narrative about trying to fix her marriage. Then you've got prosecutor Diane Nicolosi, aggressive and quotable, and Detective Pelletier with the gotcha arrest moment. These are the voices the cameras picked up, and America ate it up like a sundae at Erewhon, overpriced and irresistible. Now, the spicy question. Was Pam the mastermind or the scapegoat? She says, "I did not plan this. I was guilty of bad judgment and the affair, but I didn't order a hit." That line has been consistent for decades. She argues the media circus warped everything, which is the thesis of the 2014 HBO doc Captivated, directed by Jeremiah Zager. And the cameras in court, did that change the room? Obviously some. Jurors are human, and they watch themselves become part of a show. But here's where I land, and you can drag me in the DMs if you want. The wiretapes are the tapes. The teen witnesses had deals, yes, so their incentives matter. But paired with the recordings, the jury had a through line. I lean toward culpability on the orchestration piece, based on what made it into evidence. Just saying. Outcomes, because the contrast is stark. The teens, Billy Flynn and Patrick Randall, get second-degree murder-related convictions and serve decades. Then, in 2015, they're paroled on the same day to lifetime supervision. Vance Latheim Jr. gets lifetime parole earlier. Raymond Fowler has parole drama, then gets out again. Pam, as the accomplice to first degree under New Hampshire law, has life with no parole. She's been at Bedford Hills, a maximum security women's prison in New York, since 1993, after a transfer New Hampshire called a security move. Her family says they weren't told. In the mid-90s, she was brutally assaulted by two inmates. Broken eye socket, plastic plate in her face. It's grim. She's earned master's degrees in custody, done tutoring, and tried every appeal route. By 2023, the state courts shut the last door, and in 2024, she makes a limited responsibility statement, like, "I should have seen the signs," but still denies orchestrating the murder. The pop culture footprint is huge, because this case basically begged Hollywood to stare. The Helen Hunt TV movie came fast in '91. Law & Order did a riff the same year. Joyce Maynard's novel To Die For dropped in '92, then the film in '95. It's satire, but the DNA is there. And the HBO doc Captivated is the media thesis statement. If you're streaming on your couch off Sunset with a matcha, that one's the watch. All of it circles the same theme. America is obsessed with ambition, sex, youth, and cameras. Make it a teacher-student scandal, and its ratings gold. Ethics be damned. Big picture, babe. This is why boundaries in schools are non-negotiable. Power plus secrecy is a bonfire. It's also a case study in plea bargains. The teens had incentives to testify, which shaped the story the jury heard. And those courtroom cameras? They didn't pull the trigger, but they did create a national narrative that still lives rent-free in our heads decades later. Next time, we're staying in the neighborhood of media and crime. The Menendez brothers. Two Beverly Hills kids, a family mansion, and a trial that turned into appointment TV. Very different facts. Eerily similar spectacle. Buckle up for that. So that's the tea, folks. Stay curious, drink water, and text me your takes. Later.